I found out a few days before Christmas that my own family, my parents, my siblings, the people who swore they loved me unconditionally, had planned to humiliate me in front of everyone during Christmas dinner, and the crazy part, I wasn't even supposed to know about it, but I overheard everything. Every disgusting detail, every laugh at my expense, every plan to teach me a lesson. And I swear, in that moment, something inside me snapped. Tell me honestly, what would you have done if your entire family plotted to publicly humiliate you, and acted like you were too stupid to figure it out? Would you have taken the high road? Or would you have done what I did? Because I promise you, after everything they put me through all my life, I wasn't about to sit there and let them walk all over me again. And I definitely wasn't going to let them get away with it. So I sent them a gift they will never, ever forget. The story really began months before Christmas, although back then I didn't realize it. I'm the middle child of three, my older sister Anna and my younger brother Ryan. Growing up, I always felt like the odd one out. Not rebellious, not bad, not dramatic, just invisible. Anna was the golden child. She could burn the entire house down, and my parents would excuse it as she's finding herself. Ryan was the baby, the miracle child born years later, the one who could do no wrong, and then there was me, the responsible one. The one expected to be mature, helpful, understanding, supportive, and available at all times, even when no one cared about me in return. I didn't realize how much it affected me until I moved out at 24 and started realizing how weirdly peaceful my life was without my family's constant criticism, disguised as advice. For years, I kept my distance, not no contact, but low communication. Birthdays, the occasional text, the big holidays. That was it, and every single Christmas, without fail, something would happen. A jab at my career, a jab at my weight, a jab at my love life, a jab at where I lived. It was like they couldn't help themselves, but last year was supposed to be different. Or at least I hoped so. See, things had been going well for me. I'd gotten a promotion at work, finally started earning enough to be comfortable, and even began seeing someone seriously. Although I kept that private because my family has a tendency to ruin things I care about, so when my mom insisted I come home for Christmas because everyone will be there this year, I agreed. I thought maybe this time it'll be okay. Maybe they've mellowed. Maybe I'm overthinking. Spoiler, I wasn't. About a week before Christmas, I decided to stop by my parents' house, unexpectedly, because I had promised to drop off a special dessert I was making for Christmas dinner. I didn't text ahead because why would I? It's my parents' house. I pulled up, walked through the side door like I always did, and immediately heard voices coming from the kitchen. My name came up and I just instinctively froze. You know that feeling in your stomach when something is wrong before your brain catches up? That's exactly what I felt. I wasn't trying to eavesdrop. I swear I wasn't. But when you hear your own mother say your name in that low, condescending voice she thinks people can't detect, you pause. You listen, you absorb, Anna was saying. So when she sits down, I'm going to give her the gag gift first. I already wrapped it in that cheesy paper she likes. My mom laughed and said, "Oh, she's going to be so embarrassed." Then Ryan added, "Good, she deserves it. She needs to be knocked down a peg." Knocked down a peg. That was the exact phrase he used about me. I felt my chest tighten as I realized they weren't planning something harmless or funny. They were planning a setup, something personal, something cruel. Then Anna said the part that made my ears ring. When she opens it and sees the self-help book and the gym pass, I want everyone to laugh. Don't jump too early. Wait for my signal, and later, when I give the second gift, that's when Dad will say the line about her needing to finally fix herself. Everyone needs to be in sync so it lands right. Fix myself. They were planning a staged humiliation, like some sick, orchestrated performance, for their entertainment. My own family, my own blood. I stood there frozen, my dessert box still in my hands, my heart pounding like it wanted to rip out of my chest. I heard my mom say she won't see it coming, she's always so clueless, and then they laughed, really laughed. The kind of laugh people do when they feel powerful, superior. I felt numb, like my brain couldn't fully process the fact that they had put actual effort into planning this. coordinating lines, timing reactions, wrapping gag gifts, designed to attack my insecurities, and the worst part, none of them objected, not even my dad, who always claimed he stayed neutral. Neutral my ass. He was in on it too. I slowly backed out the door so they wouldn't hear me, got into my car and just sat there staring at the steering wheel. I couldn't cry, I couldn't scream. I was too stunned, too disgusted, too angry. I drove home in silence, my dessert melting on the passenger seat, and by the time I parked outside my apartment, I knew exactly what I had to do. I wasn't just going to skip Christmas. I wasn't going to confront them either. Not yet. Confrontation gives people a chance to lie, twist the story, play victim. No, I wanted something better, something poetic, something memorable, something that would make every single one of them realize they messed with the wrong person. Christmas Day arrived and I didn't go, but I sent a gift, a beautifully wrapped gift that they all opened together. But before I tell you exactly what I sent and what happened afterward, let me take you through everything that led up to that moment. Because trust me, this wasn't the first time my family tried to humiliate me. In fact, the more I thought about it that night, the more memories resurfaced. Memories I had brushed off for years as normal family teasing. Even though deep down I knew it wasn't normal at all. Growing up, I was always the easy target. I wasn't dramatic like Anna or charismatic like Ryan. I was quiet. I liked drawing, reading, and writing instead of joining their endless competitions for attention. When I was 8, Anna convinced me to sing at a family gathering knowing I was shy, and when I finally did, she and my cousins burst out laughing halfway through. My parents told me don't be so sensitive. When I was 15, Ryan went through my journal and read parts of it aloud. My parents said, he's just a kid, relax. When I graduated college with honors, my dad joked in front of everyone, maybe now you'll finally have something interesting to talk about. And my mom said, your sister already has a job lined up at her company, maybe she can help you not mess it up. They always framed their insults as jokes. They always expected me to laugh along. And when I didn't, I was dramatic, overreacting, or taking things too personally. So, as I sat in my apartment replaying their Christmas plan, I realized this wasn't new. This was a pattern, a nasty, toxic pattern. Only this time they were leveling up. They wanted witnesses. Extended family, family friends, neighbors. They wanted an audience for my humiliation. That detail made my blood boil. They wanted to put me on display like some sad punchline, and that's when I realized they wanted a show. So I gave them one. Before I tell you exactly how I executed my revenge, let me pause right here and ask you something, because I honestly want to know what other people would have done. If you overheard your own family plotting your public humiliation, planning to mock your insecurities in front of an entire room, would you still go to Christmas? Would you confront them directly, or would you do something else? Before I tell you what I did next, seriously, comment below what you would have done if you were in my shoes. All right, so here's where things get interesting. I spent 2 days planning the perfect comeback, not petty, not violent, not illegal, just poetic. Something that hit them exactly where it hurt most, their image. My family cares about appearances more than anything. Not kindness, not love, not respect. Just how they look to other people. So I used that against them. On Christmas morning, I scheduled a delivery to my parents' house. A single beautifully wrapped box with a gold bow. Inside that box was a printed packet, about 20 pages, and on those pages was a detailed, written letter. Not angry, not insulting, not emotional, just factual, painfully, brutally factual. I wrote down every hurtful thing they had done to me over the years. Every joke, every sabotage, every time they excluded me, every time they mocked me. Every time they belittled me. Every time they used me, in order with dates, details, and direct quotes. But that wasn't even the main part. The main part was the transcript. See, after I left their house on the day I overheard them, I got into my car and immediately wrote down everything I had heard word for word. Every sentence, every laugh, every nasty comment. So, in the letter, under the section titled Christmas Plan, I typed up the entire conversation they had in the kitchen. Verbatim, all of it, including the parts where they called me clueless, weak, sensitive, and stupid, including Anna's plan to hand me self-help books and gym passes as a joke, including the part where they timed when everyone should laugh at me. And this packet didn't just go to my parents. I printed 15 copies, one for every family member attending Christmas dinner. My aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents, and 2 neighbors my parents invited every year, and I hired a courier service to deliver them all at the same time, just before dinner started. If my family wanted an audience, then fine, they would get one, just not the show they expected. Around 6 p.m., my phone started blowing up with calls. Then texts, then more calls. Anna called me first 6 times in a row, then my mom, then my dad. Then an unknown number that I later learned was my aunt's phone because she was screaming so loudly she wanted me to explain myself, but I didn't pick up. I went to dinner with my boyfriend instead. We ordered sushi and I told him the whole story. He said he was proud of me. Later that night, my cousin, one of the few people I actually liked, sent me a message. She said dinner had turned into complete chaos. People were reading the packet out loud. Some were yelling at my parents. Some were shocked. Some were disgusted. My grandmother cried. My uncle said he always knew something was off. Anna stormed out. Ryan denied everything until my aunt repeated the transcript word for word and asked him why he thought humiliating his own sister was funny. My parents apparently sat there red-faced, unable to deny anything because I had too many details for it to be made up. My mom fainted at one point, which I'm 99% sure was dramatic exaggeration because she hates being embarrassed. But either way, my message was delivered. The next day, my dad left a voicemail telling me I had ruined Christmas. I laughed out loud listening to it. Ruined Christmas, they plan to ruin me. I just returned the favor. My mom sent a long text about how families joke with each other and how I shouldn't have aired private issues. I replied, "You plan to humiliate me publicly. I simply beat you to it." Anna didn't speak to me at all. Ryan sent a half-assed apology that I ignored. A week later, my grandmother called me privately and told me she had no idea how cruel my family had been and that she supported me completely. That was the only call that actually made me emotional. Over the next few weeks, the family dynamics changed drastically. Some relatives cut off my parents temporarily. Some stopped inviting them to gatherings. My parents tried to spin the story, but no one really bought it. And me, I finally felt free, truly free. I didn't patch things up with them. I didn't feel bad. I didn't regret it. For the first time in my life, I stood up for myself not quietly, not passively, but in a way that made it impossible for them to twist things. I didn't scream, I didn't call. I simply told the truth, publicly, and honesty turned out to be the best revenge. So that's the story of how I overheard my family planning to humiliate me at Christmas, and how I sent them a gift they will never forget. If you were on my side, like this video. If you think I went too far, comment below and tell me why, because honestly, after everything they did, I still wonder whether I should have gone harder. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this, and let me know your final thoughts in the comments. I'll see you all in the next story.